Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the mic, he is the Pro Wrestling Savant, the host of the hottest wrestling podcast on the internet, Nerdy D!
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Nerdy D Wrestling Podcast Monday Night Madness edition. It is September 20th, 2021, 3 days post SmackDown. I am your host, Nerdy D, aka the Savant of Pro Wrestling, aka the Disruptor of the Normal, aka apparently TikTok is calling me Mr. Negativity. And joining me tonight is my valet on this podcast, the Lioness Lauren.
What's up, y'all?
Each and every week, I give my hot takes on the world of wrestling. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to one of our social media channels, TikTok at The Nerdy D, YouTube at The Nerdy D, and on all major podcast networks, search The Nerdy D Wrestling Podcast. And if you don't like what you hear by now, if I haven't made it clear, I really don't give a shit. So last week, I opened up the show, okay, by cutting a promo on our good old friend, the lieutenant of the wrestling TikTok establishment. I don't think he's the general. I don't think he's the top dog yet. I don't think we've hit the top dog. This is one of the lieutenants, the infamous opinionist Kevin, okay? Now let's set the record straight. Before I cut this promo, let's set the record straight, okay? Before I decided to throw my hat into this ring of fucking toxic underground wrestling politics, because that's all this is. Let's get this straight. This is politics, just with a wrestling twist. That's all it is. I had zero idea who Kevin was. Never heard of the guy. Never seen any of his content, right? No fucking clue.
Yep.
I began giving these hot takes on the world of WWE and AEW just as a bit on my pop culture podcast. That's all I was doing. It was just a bit, right? I do some negative, some positive, and even though the negative ones seem to be the ones that blow up, and hit the algorithm, which is fine. I'm comfortable being the bad guy. I got no problem with that. That's not an issue for me, right? But I was just having fun. That's all I've been doing. Just having fun. Just using the eye test to watch wrestling and say the things that come into my head. That's all I'm doing, right? Right or wrong, I've never claimed to be right. That's what these motherfuckers don't understand. I've never claimed that I'm right. I'm just merely giving hot takes and observations. That's what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm still having fun doing this. Don't get me wrong. They've just made this even more fun. And only using the eye test to see what I see on a weekly basis, I'm making wrestling observations and people started commenting and people started liking and people started, there was pushback and there was an embracement to it, right? Mm-hmm. Both sides, which is fine. But let's get one thing straight. I've never added anybody.
Yeah.
I've never directed any of my TikToks towards somebody. I'll make the one exception. One time, I congratulated Heel Josh on becoming a Twitch partner, but now I find out he's just part of the establishment, which is fine, right? You guys, you have your club and you don't like outsiders. I get it. Let's get this clear, though. I have only responded when you idiots at me.
True.
When you guys turn the spotlight and you put it on me, I embrace it and I fucking say what I have to say. I've never once directed anything towards you guys. Not once. But it seems that I finally set this establishment on fire. I finally set a fire today. Because after the infamous decided to at me for the second time, okay, to try to diminish my podcast. See, he's coming at the little guy. Yeah, no, I don't have 50,000 viewers. I don't have 500 listeners, right?
Yeah.
This is week number, 3 of doing a wrestling podcast?
Yeah.
And I've already got your attention, Kevin. I already have your attention. And to be quite honest, you know what? The podcast, the followers will come, the listeners will come, the viewers, they all come. It's a numbers game. The more videos you drop, the more people that follow. But what I do know is I'm in your head now, Kevin. You tried to drop that video this morning to intimidate me.
Yeah.
You thought you were going to come out and big dick me. Kevin, you're not big dicking me, Kevin. You're not big dicking the big dick. It's just not happening. It's not going to happen, right? And so what happened was, here's what happened. I'll give y'all a rundown of what happened. Mm-hmm. Kevin calls me out, and he thinks that's going to be a final blow. Mm-hmm. No. Not Nerdy D. Not the savant. Not the destroyer of the normal. I walked into that comment section and I single-handedly bitch slap every one of his little bitch-ass followers who thought they were going to rise up and use the same fucking cookie-cutter answers that the establishment has fed to them the whole time. They're like sheep. They're like zombies. They all say the same thing. And I just, one after another, hurt their feelings until finally what happened?
I know.
The leader had to step in and he had to block your boy.
Yeah.
The leader had to step in and block your boy. Now let's get one thing clear. I didn't call anybody names.
True.
That's not my style, right? I didn't initiate this. It was his community that called me the idiot, right?
Yeah.
It was him who called me narrow-minded, okay? It was numerous ones of his followers who wanted to personally fight me, which I'm going to tell you fucking idiots, it's not going to end well. 6'4", 270, former Division I athlete. I'm going to fuck y'all up, and I roll pretty fucking deep, okay? So if y'all want to take this off the internet, that's not a problem either, guys, okay? But let me tell y'all, okay? Oh, wait, one guy called me, I said I looked like a retired lawyer ambulance chaser, which I thought that was the best one of fucking all of them. I am sad that I can't get back into that argument because that guy had some fucking go. That was a good call on that one. Like I was ready to go on that one, right? But after I destroyed all these buffoons, one after another, the leader stepped in and he saved them from their humiliation and he blocked me, right? Blocked me from his toxic community because his community is the toxic one, not me. I'm not starting anything. I've never added you guys. You guys have all added me and tried to fucking discredit me, right? Because if anybody brings an original thought into these echo chambers, they can't handle it. It's a malfunction in the fucking system, right?
Yeah.
So the exact quote that Kevin and Heel Josh both used against me was, "I'm disrupting the community." I don't see why that's a fucking problem because this toxic community looks like it could use some fucking disruption, okay? I didn't at you guys. I didn't bring any of you into this. I've asked questions. I've had some wild ass opinions, which are my fucking true opinions. Just using the eye test. I don't read the Dave Meltzers. I don't fucking read the dirt sheets. I'm just watching wrestling and saying what comes to my fucking head. And some people love it and some people hate it, right?
Yeah.
But I want to reach out because I do feel bad, right? Maybe I went too far. Maybe walking into that fucking comment section and slapping the fuck out of all of them verbally, it was too far. So I'm going to reach out. I want to extend an olive branch, okay? This Wednesday, I want to have a special podcast. I'm going to do a special podcast where we're going to celebrate the hard work that the infamous Opinionist has done on TikTok to keep all of his sheep and his flock, keep the herd together, keep all of the zombies walking in the same direction. So I'm calling it the Extremely Petty Infamous Celebration, paid for and hosted by the Anti-Establishment.
All right.
That will be this Wednesday. It'll probably post on Thursday. And, you know, you can get your highlights on TikTok because that's all you fuckers do anyway. This is so much fun, Lauren. This is so much fun.
I can see that for
This
you.
This is like living a childhood dream. These sheep, man. These sheep, they've all fucking taken the bait. One guy called me Skip Bayless.
I did see that. In that comment, plus in your own comments.
I've been called Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Okay. This is all by this toxic community. I've been called Skip Bayless. I've been called Joe Rogan. The only other names I'd like to be added is if someone would call me Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
I'll take that one. and my guy Pat McAfee.
All right.
If I could check off those boxes, they don't understand. This is a fucking dream.
They gave you some of the greatest compliments to you.
I mean, you're right. You're going down my list of people here. I love fucking Skip Bayless. What's wrong with
I
Skip?
do too. He's my favorite.
He's a fucking sports analyst who 90% of the time is fucking right and makes a lot of money. If I can check those boxes, I'm doing it right. Okay.
I think Skip is the sweetest, nicest person.
Do I start with Rampage or SmackDown? Let's start SmackDown this week.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's start SmackDown because I'm gonna start with SmackDown because contrary to what this fucking toxic community and the internet's been telling me, they tell me I hate everything, right? They tell me I shit on everything. I rather enjoyed SmackDown this week, guys. But as always, nothing is perfect. There's no perfect wrestling show. So I'm gonna give my good and the bad on SmackDown this week, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's start with Roman Reigns.
Okay.
My allergies are going crazy, so I'm coughing a lot. Not dying, just not COVID, just fucking coughing.
Just Texas weather for you.
Yeah, Texas weather. Okay, Roman Reigns opener, right? Roman Reigns continues each and every week to impress me. The bloodline gimmick is the perfect gimmick for someone of his mic skills. He's not going to come out and rock the mic every week, but he can be intimidating, and he can use Paul Heyman less as a mouthpiece and more as a mentor, and they play well off of each other.
Yeah,
With
definitely.
the Usos in the background, that just fucking works. It works for me. I know a lot of people don't like Roman Reigns, and for a long time I was on board with not liking Roman Reigns, but the more I watch SmackDown, the more I get how Roman Reigns is the centerpiece of this thing, and I'd like to see even them kind of step out and just even step out of the stories they're in and just kind of run SmackDown altogether, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know the fucking internet already thinks that I hate Big E, right? That's the consensus on TikTok, is that I hate Big E, even though I've gone on record numerous times, and they're still commenting on a video from 2 weeks ago, which I've gone on record as saying Big E has shown more balance. I like Big E. I want nothing but the best for Big E. Oh, you're backtracking, Dirty D. I'm not backtracking, dude. Every week, my opinion might fucking change based on what I saw that week.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. I'm not like you fuckers who have to say the same thing over and over to convince myself that's what I believe. I don't think I was wrong on Big E. I think he's finding more balance. But what I will say is Big E fucking pissed me off this week.
Okay.
Big E came out, lots of energy, ready to fucking go,
Yeah.
comes over to the announce table and just fucking ghosted my boy Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee went straight hand in the air looking for the fucking high five. Just a clean high five. A show of respect from the god that is Pat McAfee on that microphone. Let's not get it twisted. Roman Reigns isn't SmackDown. Big E isn't SmackDown. Fucking Pat McAfee is the best thing on Friday Night SmackDown right now. And everybody should fucking praise God that Michael Cole brought him there to reinvigorate a show and a company that was fucking dying. But my boy Big E ghosted Pat McAfee. Disrespectful.
Yes, sir.
That is disrespectful, Big E. Just reach out and give my boy a high five.
Do you think it was on purpose or was it an accident?
I feel like Big E was throwing shade at Pat McAfee.
Really?
I feel like Big E was throwing shade at Pat McAfee.
That's crazy.
I think Big E
How
knows.
could you not like Pat McAfee?
Because I think Big E knows Pat McAfee is a Roman Reigns guy. Roman Reigns has been on the Pat McAfee show. And I think
Right.
Big E is jealous because Pat McAfee has not had him on the show yet.
Well,
So there's that.
we'll see.
And that's complete bullshit. I'm just having fun. But Pat McAfee is the best thing on WWE to me right now.
You know I'm going to clip that, right?
Oh,
and
I
then
don't
they're
care.
going to...
I don't care. I don't fucking care. At this point, I don't care. They're mad at everything I say, right? My other problem with this segment is how long are we going to pretend that the crown jewel match that they're promoting between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar is not just a complete predictor of how bad Finn Balor is going to get his ass whooped at Extreme Rules?
Oh, yeah,
I mean, he may put on a decent match, but there's a 0% chance that they're letting Finn Balor get in the way of that big dog matchup, that heavyweight fucking throwdown at Crown Jewel. Because I can tell you one thing, over there in Saudi Arabia, they're not looking for Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar. They're not looking for Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns. In Saudi Arabia, Crown Jewel, it's written in stone. It's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, two fucking behemoths of men fighting it out for the Universal Championship. And that's what's happening.
What's the size difference between Finn Balor and Roman Reigns?
Finn Balor's like 5'10", 5'11".
Okay.
Roman Reigns 6'3", 6'4".
Okay.
And Roman, but it's not all height.
Wise,
There's a physical.
He looks like a visibly smaller man than Roman Reigns.
Yes, and I took a lot of flack for this on the thing I said last week about. Look, guys, I didn't say smaller guys can't win. I said you just have to put a really good story behind it. That's all. Rey Mysterio,
100% what you
Rey
said.
Mysterio was exciting and people loved him because he was always the underdog and he overcame the odds. But that doesn't mean that the odds were always there,
Yeah.
right? Same thing I said about Adam Cole. Doesn't mean Adam Cole can't be a champion. It just means Adam Cole has to develop something that evens the score, right?
Yeah.
Finn Balor has the
I get that.
demon, right? The demon is that thing that Finn Balor reaches into, right? Because when all of a sudden it doesn't look like Finn Balor can get the job done,
Yeah.
oh, he's got a demon inside of him that could get the job done. And that's a size equalizer, right? Because
Exactly.
now we're supposed to believe, or now we do believe, because we embrace this as real and fun, but now we believe that the demon inside of Finn Balor is the equalizer that he needs to take out Roman Reigns. And that's all I ever said. You need good fiction.
Exactly.
You just need some good fiction.
I agree with you.
All right, so that led to the Usos versus Finn Balor and Big E. What I will say is SmackDown from beginning to finish is by far the best consistent wrestling show on TV right now. AEW has peaks and valleys. It has some good things that I think are even better than SmackDown, but there's also points in time where I watch AEW and I go, this is boring me a little bit. And the Usos really made me think that because the Usos are fucking workhorses, right?
I like them. I just sometimes they come off as dumb to me, like intellectually dumb.
I don't think so.
That could just be my perception. And again,
and maybe
somebody would not like that, but I like them though because I like Naomi.
I think they're good.
So
I think they're real good. I like them. They're workhorses. I think they're underrated, even though I don't really know where the fuck they're rated. And I'm gonna ask that question.
Where are they ranked?
Where are the Usos as far as where do you rank them as far as a tag team in the WWE? Where are they? Are they the best tag team in the WWE? Or who is the best current tag team in the WWE? And where do you rank them all time? And they're still early in their career, so that's a little bit of an unfair question, but it's always fun to play hypotheticals. Where do you put the Usos in all-time tag teams?
yeah,
Who are they? What is the comp, the comparison to the Usos? We know that they're not like the New Age Outlaws. I think the New Day and the New Age Outlaws are a better comp.
yeah.
I don't know what the comp is to the Usos. One thing that scares me is, I just said how good SmackDown is from minute 1 to hour 2. I think it's consistently the best show. And now we're fucking barreling down on the draft.
Ew,
Right?
yeah.
That bothers me because are we going to take the one good show and water it down and make, once again, just 2 meh shows?
I think so because they want to appease both networks.
Does WWE have enough superstar, interesting talent to make 2 shows as good as this SmackDown? I think they do. I think it's going to be about better storytelling and using the characters they have better. But as of right now, SmackDown is by far the far superior show.
I'll agree with you.
Maybe it gets me watching Raw again, though, the draft, right?
Possibly.
So, yeah. Observation time, okay?
All right.
The WWE Championship, Big E's belt, the black and gold with the, I'm talking about the
Yes.
black leather with the gold,
Yeah, yeah.
is better looking than the Universal Championship. That blue belt is ugly.
I
That
don't
blue
know if
belt
I've
is
ever
ugly.
actually looked at them in comparison.
I like the black original WWE Championship. It looks better. I wish we would go to a just completely different style for the Universal title. I like that belt from Heels, the one that lit up and did all that kind of wild shit.
Ooh, that would be so cool.
Let's get LED lights on the fucking Universal
Hell
title.
yeah. Maybe it could shoot out glitter.
Is it not time that Roman Reigns gets his own custom belt?
Yeah.
He's held the belt for a long time.
I think it was like 380 days, right?
Whatever it is, he's highly developed this character and this faction. I think it would be neat to give Roman Reigns like an all black on black title belt.
I mean,
Just to kind of go with the whole bloodline, or a black with like red metal. Something real dark and deep would look cool.
how many people have their own custom belts?
So Daniel Bryan's had one, Stone Cold's
Okay.
had one, Undertaker's had one, Bray Wyatt had one.
Yeah.
He had that weird Fiend mask one.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know that I'm qualified to say who deserves and doesn't deserve that. But someone, we can ask the question on TikTok and YouTube.
Okay.
Does Roman Reigns at this point in his run deserve to have his own custom version of the WWE Universal Championship?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
All right.
Then we went to Rick Boogs versus Robert Roode. That's a little rhyme there. Rick Boogs versus Robert Roode. I miss the glorious Robert Roode, Bobby
Me
Roode.
too.
I know that he said he didn't love the music, but Jesus, that's one of those songs that just
Stuck in your bones.
and just elevated a character to another level. I miss the glorious.
I won't be there.
Yeah, I mean, I miss that. That was good shit. And at this point, I guess we've relegated Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode are the ultimate jobbers of the WWE.
Yeah, for
If
sure.
you see them coming out to the ring, just know whoever they're fighting is about to beat the living shit out of them.
But Dolph Ziggler, I pointed out to you, has the most luxurious hair
Does have some nice
out of
hair.
any of the WWE men.
I
I don't know about Roman Reigns, but
really wish, and I regret for Dolph Ziggler, I wish he would have got a better run in his heyday. There was a point in time where Dolph was so fucking over, and he won the world heavyweight title, and they only let him keep it like, I believe it was a couple weeks. It was a very short run.
oh,
It was not, he did not get the justice he deserved for as much work as he's put into that company.
I like Dolph.
There's going to be a lot of talent in the ring, a lot of young talent to me when we get this program with Apollo Crews, Shinsuke Nakamura, Rick Boogs, and Commander Aziz in the ring. Because that's
Okay.
what they set up. Don't get it wrong. Rick Boogs, Dolph and Robert Roode were just
Yeah.
there to set up the Apollo angle. A lot of talent, but I feel like this is another one of those things where we go, we've seen this before. Why are we recycling this? We've got so many guys that are waiting for an opportunity, and then we recycle this. There's just other things we could do in this title picture, right?
Yes.
Corbin, you got Kevin Owens, you got quite a few guys waiting in the back that would have been fit to take on Shinsuke.
Yeah.
Speaking of Owens and Corbin, these are two of my favorite current superstars. I told you, I'm just throwing out fucking praise all over.
Just like love.
After this episode, they're going to rename me Mr. Positivity because of all of the love I am giving to these SmackDown superstars today.
Yes, sir.
But Owens and Corbin are two of my favorite superstars on the roster. The DQ with Corbin coming out and attacking Owens before the match.
Yes.
That was disappointing because how many fucking times have we seen a guy come out and attack a guy and then they still make the two guys get in the ring and have the fucking fight?
Oh yeah.
I knew when Corbin had on that swaggy ass shirt, he wasn't fighting tonight.
You just
He
put out
didn't
this
come.
shirt
He didn't come for a fight tonight. He
Yeah.
came to just fucking
to look pretty.
yeah. I followed him on social media. He's good.
Really.
I like all his behind the scenes shit.
I need to. I have not done that
You
yet.
gotta,
but I
you gotta
need
follow
to.
him. I follow him
For
on
sure.
Instagram. That seems to be where we can get some backstory
Okay.
on what's going
I'll have
on,
to
right?
get back on Instagram.
I feel like Corbin is on the cusp of something big. I do. I feel like he's trending upward. His momentum's going up. After all that King Corbin shit, didn't like that.
Ew, no, I hated that.
The general manager Corbin didn't love that. This is the first character, excuse me, since the Lone Wolf that I really am excited about.
Yeah.
I feel like Kevin Owens is trending down, even though he's possibly top five,
No.
my top
he
five favorite
had
wrestler.
me at
What
the
is something?
tie.
Yeah, well, but that's
love
all.
that.
I feel like that's all shit Kevin Owens does on his own. Nobody's
Oh,
telling him.
yeah.
Nobody's telling him to do that. He's just making his own way, right?
Definitely.
Unfortunately, I think at this point WWE has just punted on Kevin Owens.
They've kind of like give him like dumb roles.
That's what I mean. They've just punted. They've just given up. He's going to ride his time out. He's going to be another one of those guys who transfers over to AEW and is finally able to show his real talent.
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing is this may not be such a bad thing, right? Certain guys may thrive in the AEW environment and certain guys might thrive in a WWE environment. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? But if they brought him over to AEW and reunite him with Chris Jericho, that was some of my favorite wrestling gimmick I've ever seen.
I know.
You just made the list and the best friends. That was fucking, I mean, that was some of the best Jericho and Owens I had ever seen.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we got a Seth Rollins promo, right?
Yeah.
I've been too positive.
Ooh,
I feel like I've been too positive. It just doesn't feel right at this point.
I know. I might actually be the more negative one today.
I agree, but the chrome suit and the chrome shoes, I fucking loved it. I loved everything about that. I thought that he does the slimy kind of crooked heel better than anybody else does.
Maybe his fashion choices make up for Becky Lynch.
Well, so I thought about that. I said, but I don't think they register on the same type of character. And I'm going to talk about Becky right after this. But
all right,
let me finish with Seth. So this was an extremely long promo. They let him go for a long time, and he held the crowd the entire time, which is impressive.
Yes.
WWE crowds tend to lose interest pretty quickly with the what and all that shit.
Yeah.
So he held them for a long time. It's about time we start putting a little bit of respect on Seth Rollins' his name as a promo giver.
Yeah.
He is extremely good on a microphone, and I think he's extremely good in the ring. And I said it a couple weeks ago. I think his ceiling is limitless. I think he could go down as possibly one of the greatest superstars of all time.
I think so.
Seth is a good bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
He's a much better heel. Some guys thrive in the heel position. Some guys thrive in the good guy position. He is a far better heel, and he does the sneaky, slimy heel very well.
Yes.
Which then leads me into Becky Lynch. Okay, big time Bex.
Yeah.
Is it me or is this goofy heel thing with big time Bex? It's just annoying.
I hate it. I hate what they're doing to Bianca Belair. It like makes me mad in my soul.
But take Bianca out of the picture just for a second. Becky Lynch has the talent and the swag to be a dominant, arrogant heel. Yeah. To just be the badass and just kind of the destroyer in the women's division, right? Mm-hmm. She's got the talent. She typically on a microphone can come off aggressive and doesn't do goofy well to me.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just Becky Lynch wanting to spread her wings and try something different, and I'm all about that, but at this point in time, this sneaky annoying heel reads bad to me. I would much rather have the man, and I get it. I understand that the crowd won't turn on her, but why is that even a big deal? Like, let the crowd love her, even if she's the heel.
Yeah, I mean, you can love a bad guy.
I've got a little bit more to say about her at the end of the show when we get to Bianca. Okay. At the end of this SmackDown segment. Okay. Dominic Mysterio and Sami Zayn. Okay, so this is gonna get me shit again. Okay, so this is where I turn on people. I don't understand the appeal of Dominic yet.
Me neither. I think I literally asked somebody on TikTok about that because he's boring.
Did they have a good answer? Because I don't get the appeal yet.
No,
he comes off as awkward and gangly in the ring.
I agree.
Which is funny because Rey Mysterio comes off as graceful and athletic. Mm-hmm. Dominic
and
comes
manly and like debonair, I guess.
That's you, not me. But is this feud? I'm trying to figure out. I can't get a read on this, which, hey, this is when wrestling's its best. When I can't get a read, I can't get a pulse on, are we building towards a Rey Mysterio and Sami Zayn feud? Or are we building towards a Rey Mysterio and Dominic feud? I don't know. A good old father-son beatdown match, that could really get Dominic over, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's what we need to get Dominic kind of get his engine running a little bit. Now, I haven't seen everything Dominic's been a part of since he premiered at SummerSlam last year. So maybe there's some good stuff I'm missing, and I'll go back and I'll take a deeper look into Dominic's his history. It's his short run history in the WWE. But my other question is, what is Sami Zayn's ceiling at this point? Because I think he's proven time and time again he's a good heel. He's good at what he does.
Yeah, definitely.
But is this Dolph Ziggler 2.0? Is Sami Zayn going to be another person who shows up and just puts over any talent that they need to be put over?
I don't foresee them pushing him higher up the ranks anytime soon. There's just too many other people that they want to give a chance first.
Yeah, maybe so. And maybe that is. And if Sammy's happy with that, that's great. But I just feel like when you run down the short list of good heels in the WWE, Sammy's on the list and he's high on the list. Sammy's probably one of my top 5 heels in the WWE.
He's still getting airtime, you know? I mean,
and
maybe
still,
he doesn't need or want to be a champion in his mind. I don't know. He
gets the crowd to react. There's no doubt. Bringing out the Trae Young, just the things he says, the whole character, the crazy character, he gets people to react. And so I'm curious, what is Sami Zayn's ceiling at this point in his career?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to skip straight over the Carmella, Liv Morgan shit.
Yeah.
Because I go praise the WWE's women division, and then we get this, and I have no fucking clue what we're building to. I guess Carmella is the most beautiful, and now her nose is broken. So what we're supposed to believe? This is fucking superficial shit.
Liv Morgan's going to fuck her up or something. I don't know. You think that you're something.
This whole time we're doing this, we've got Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Asuka on the bench. These are the things that make me question the WWE, right?
Yeah.
I know, we got to get everybody a turn, right? We got to let everybody, it's 2021, everybody's got to touch the ball. But let's get the A team on the court. Let's get the A team in the ring.
And I like both of them. I think they are both pretty, but
let's get Sasha Banks back in the ring. Let's get Naomi back in the ring. Let's get real high level talent back in the ring. And then let's relegate. Let's let Carmella and Liv Morgan, and then they can do their stuff, on whatever other show there is to that.
Let them be part of like a women's Royal Rumble.
I think there's something called Monday Night Raw that a lot of people don't watch that they could go do this non-interesting stuff at. Why? So why is there not 2 sets of tag team belts for the women? I just saw that. I was researching.
Is there not a SmackDown and a Raw?
No, there's only one.
But for the men's, there are.
There's 2 sets of belts for the men, and there are enough quality women wrestlers that there's a warrant for 2 sets of tag team belts. Right now,
I think that's bullshit.
Right now, it's Natalya and
I thought Natalya was hurt.
Snuka. What's her name?
Snuka.
This Jimmy Superfly Snuka's daughter.
Okay.
Forgot her name.
Oh, the Supergirl or whatever?
Yeah, I don't remember.
We'll call her Amy.
Don't do that. We're going to get shit for that. We'll get shit on
I don't know her name. I know who she is, though.
I completely blanked out.
I don't like her.
I don't like her.
I don't like her.
No.
Be mad at me. I don't care.
They're the tag team champions, and I guess they defended on Raw. But why do we not have a SmackDown with as much talent as we have on the SmackDown women's roster? Why is there not a set of tag team belts being defended on a regular basis on SmackDown?
Yeah, I agree. And then have like a super SmackDown champion.
You're talking crazy today.
I know.
Okay, Bianca Belair. So I might officially be the new president of the Bianca Belair fan club.
Okay.
Every time she steps in the ring, I like her more. I like her the way she talks. I like her look. Some people have fucking come out and said she can't wrestle. From what I've seen, I've enjoyed her matches.
I have too.
She has good size. She's believable to me.
Good presence.
I thought the hometown reception was fun to watch. But I just think everything about her is likable. The other thing about, and this just popped up because she has those like augmented lips that pop up during her entrance.
I think those are so cool.
The WWE's presentation is spectacular, man.
Yeah, I will give them that.
It is far beyond AEW. And that's not really like a selling point to me, but it's an observation that I made while watching it. That fucking giant Roman Reigns, when Roman Reigns comes out, the Seth Rollins logo that goes on fire, it adds just kind of a special element to watching it on TV.
I agree.
That stuff has been impressive. So stop calling me a fucking WWE hater. There's a lot of things I like, right? Now, I am going to lose my fucking shit if Bianca doesn't at least beat the brakes off of Becky at Extreme Rules. I don't care if Becky gets the win. I don't care if she underhandedly, sneaky pulls out the win. That's fine. But Bianca Belair needs to at least get to beat the brakes off of Becky Lynch because of the fucking screw job that they did at SummerSlam with the 26-second match. I don't want to hear this bullshit. They haven't worked together anymore. We've had ample time to put together a solid fucking match. Let Bianca fucking show out. Let her beat the brakes. Let her go over, at least just from a perspective point of view. I don't care if Becky retains. That's wrestling, right?
Yeah.
The bad guy has to win sometimes, and I'm all good with that. But Bianca Belair needs to come out of fucking Extreme Rules looking like a straight badass.
Yeah.
Now, I'll finish up with my SmackDown by going back and finishing off my thoughts on Becky Lynch, okay?
Okay.
I still am afraid that Becky Lynch is being misused. I don't like the goofy heel role for her. It works with Seth Rollins. It doesn't work for Becky Lynch. She needs to be dominant. She is so good at being dominant. And here's where I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I was confused when all these people came at me and go, she's the new Stone Cold. Okay? I don't think she's the new Stone Cold, but I'm starting to understand the sentiment behind that response. I just don't think people put together the right verbiage when they say that.
All right.
She's not Stone Cold and she'll never be Stone Cold, but she does do the in-between better than anybody on the roster right now.
Okay.
She can do bad things like Stone Cold and the crowd will still cheer her.
Okay.
And I think instead of the WWE embracing that, they're trying to do they're pulling every trick out of the book to try to make her go full on heel.
Yeah.
And she's just reading is stupid. The big red jacket, the Missy Elliott look. It's not a good look on her. She's too talented. And yes, I do believe Becky Lynch is talented. I just think that she has a very specific set of skills that they need to stick to and just let her be that. Look, Stone Cold didn't have a ton of gimmick changes throughout his career. He was just kind of Stone Cold. I get it. So I'm on board. I don't think she's Stone Cold. Don't get me wrong. Not on the level of Stone Cold, but I understand the in-betweener mentality that you could use with Becky Lynch to make her feel successful. Because right now, it just feels like the WWE is trying to shove Becky Lynch back down our fucking throats and recreate that whole the man, but this time it's big time Bex. Yeah. And I don't think they're going to catch that fire again.
Yeah.
I think Becky Lynch has plateaued, and that's okay. And she's still one of the bigger draws in WWE. Just let her be that.
Yeah.
Right? Just let her be. All right, so I have to address the dark side of the ring stuff, right? That came out this last week.
Okay.
And I go on record right now. I've read a lot about it, but I have not had a chance. Just haven't had the time. This weekend we went to a college football game. This weekend we went to RCW Wrestling. We had to watch SmackDown. We had to watch Rampage. So I had absolutely zero free time this weekend. But I do know the gist of what happened, and I am familiar with the rumors that have surrounded this event for a long time. And frankly, I don't really want to watch the episode because I know it's just going to make me fucking sick. Anyway, this kind of shit is gross, okay? The fact that grown men just take it upon themselves to be absolute fucking disgusting monsters. And the fact that there's a certain group of people who are trying to forgive these people because they're idols that we grew up watching, or we don't want to believe it's true. But here's the truth about professional wrestlers, right? And this is the truth about every person, every type of person in the world. Football players, basketball players, actors. There's good ones, and then there's fucking bad ones, okay? And we can't pretend like the bad ones don't exist, and we can't let the bad ones get away with this shit, right?
I agree 100%.
I just feel like this is a snowball, right? We're going to find out more and
all
more.
the dirty secrets are going to come out.
And they've kept all of these skeletons locked up in a closet for a long time. I've heard allegedly rumors now about Shawn Michaels and the Rockers. These are childhood heroes who are about to be exposed for, allegedly shit that's just, it's indefendable. I don't even think indefendable is a word. It's a word I'm going to fucking use.
All right, indefendable.
Indefendable.
Yeah, sure, go for it. It's bad. It's wrong.
Look, I grew up Division I athlete, which means I've been in locker rooms my whole fucking life. Mm-hmm. And on every sports team I've ever played on, I was a team captain. And one thing I can tell you as a team captain is the captain sets the tone for the locker room. Okay? If your captain is a douchebag, the locker room's gonna be it's gonna be a douchebaggery locker room, right?
Yeah.
I've always been, pretty straight edge. I don't drink, don't do drugs, which I don't give a fuck if you do that. But typically with those kind of things, when you abuse those type of things, that's when the fucking problems arise, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's what it looks like happened here. So when the captains, which is the big guys, the big names here, we're going to find out that a lot of them were turning a blind eye to this shit. And I don't give a fuck if it's in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. We've always known this shit is not okay. This is not new.
Yeah, 100%.
This is not new. You can always go with that's just boys are going to be no, they're not. We've always known this shit is not okay. Yeah. It's just a fucking excuse we let old people get away with like the boys will be boys fucking mentality, right? It's gross. I don't really want to watch it. I'm going to watch it because I just feel like it's important to get a read on how nasty this shit is. We'll probably discuss this more on the special Wednesday episode of our podcast this week. All right, gross. I want to get out of that. I don't like that. Let's talk about Rampage. AEW Rampage, okay? So it looks like AEW is fucking going for the jugular this next week, right? With the Grand Slam stuff.
Yeah.
They announced the lineup for Grand Slam this week. We're going to get Mox and Eddie Kingston versus Archer and Suzuki.
Okay.
I've gone on note. That's not my flavor of ice cream, but I guarantee you it's going to put eyes.
Somebody's being
It's going to put eyes on the product and it's probably going to be exciting as fuck. And there's probably going to be a lot of biting of the foreheads.
Yes. That's, I don't know. I'm going to count. I'm going to get
Some people like that, right? We got the Lucha Brothers with Santana and Ortiz fighting Private Party and the Butcher and the Blade.
Well, I like the Butcher and the Blade.
Yeah,
like
man. Butcher and the Blade, man. They impressed me this last week on Rampage. I'll talk about that in a minute. We got CM Punk fighting the Big Hobbs. Big Hobbs? What's going to happen there, Lauren?
He's going to get crushed.
CM Punk is? Are we getting a CM Punk loss this week on Rampage?
Yep. I mean, what is he going to do? Lift up Hobbs?
He can't lift up Hobbs.
You think that's going to happen?
We've seen two GTSs, and it looks like he struggled with them. I don't think he can lift up Big Hobbs. I don't think he could do it.
He's going to lift up Hobbs, and then it's going to go.
So we're going to get Jericho and Hager versus Ethan Page and Scorpio. These are the American Top Team guys.
Yeah.
We're jumping right into that shit. I mean, this is, they are bringing the heat for Rampage this week. They are bringing that fire. I'm
very excited.
Then we're going to get Adam Cole, baby. We're getting Adam Cole, baby, with the Young Bucks. Okay? Versus the Lucha Express and Christian Cage.
That one's going to be fucking epic.
Oh, shit. I am ready for some Rampage. This is what I'm talking about, right? SmackDown, 2 hours of solid wrestling. You can't go wrong. It doesn't dip. It doesn't peak too much. It's just 2 hours of good, solid wrestling. AEW, they're going to fucking throw it all out on the table. It's going to be some real high highs and some really fucking low lows, but whatever. I'm going to enjoy this fucking ride that we're getting this next week. Is this a test run for a 2 hour Rampage?
I think so.
Are we test running this? Is that what this is? Are we sticking our finger in the water to see if it's warm?
Oh, they're sticking it.
Are we sticking our finger in to see if we could do 4 hours of wrestling a week with AEW? Because as many big names as they're recruiting, how many days are we away from the 29th?
I think that it's very possible.
We are 9 days from the rumored, the rumored cometh. I don't think that's a word either.
I think
I'm making up a word. Is it?
Cometh.
We're 9 days away from the rumored return of Bray Wyatt.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wyndham Rotunda, I think is what he goes by.
Is that his birth name?
Rotunda, I think is. I don't know if Wyndham. I don't know. I don't know the guy.
I mean, it could be.
I'm sure.
If possibly. It is, it's kind of a fucking cool name.
Rotunda.
Like it sounds like a made up name.
Your prediction is that he comes
Rotunda.
back and takes over the Dark Order, correct?
Yeah, I definitely think that that's what's going to happen.
I don't think so. I would love to see him come back with his brother and start just a whole new, like, whacked out faction.
Well,
The Dark Order looks like they're
I've heard
that's too messy of a
he's
situation.
supposed to come back as well.
Oh,
his
you're reading the
brother.
dirt sheets now.
I'm not reading the dirt.
You're reading the
sheets.
dirt sheet. I've caught you now 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
I'm a cheater.
I'm disappointed in that.
I'm a cheater.
Eye test, baby. I do this all by the eye test. They don't like me.
That's fine.
So this week's Rampage was interesting. Not great, not horrible. Thought it was just an average show. But I think building up to next week, they didn't want to just overly do it, right? So the Lucha Brothers fought the Butcher and the Blade. This is a precursor to what we're getting next week in the 6-man or the 8-man tag team match. So I've never been a big fan of the Lucha style of wrestling. Okay. Never really been a big fan. I've noted that I'm not a big fan of the New Japan Pro style, but I've never been a big fan of the Lucha style. But the Lucha Brothers have drawn me in. I've been excited. My past Lucha experience was a lot with Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara and guys like that from the WWE. And it just never caught on with me. But
That would have been my experience too.
the Lucha Brothers they're good. They're good. They're entertaining. They're fun. The tag team division in AEW is by far superior to the tag team division in the WWE. And from what I've heard from other people, that's not a surprise. AEW kind of set out to revive the tag team wrestling. One quick note, Chris Jericho was back on the commentary booth.
Yeah.
AEW Rampage is just better when Jericho's up there saying some wild ass shit. I will go on record that right now, Chris Jericho and Pat McAfee are my 2 favorite personalities on sports commentary in any sport. That's football, basketball, baseball, pro wrestling, MMA. They don't do it the way it's usually done, and that makes it more fun, right?
Make it exciting.
I mean, we have to appreciate Michael Cole because Michael Cole is the one who brought in Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
And it's Michael Cole's ability to carry the brunt of the show that allows Pat McAfee to be Pat McAfee.
One is the informer and the other one is the
The
entertaining.
excitement, but it's not the entertainment's great, but he's the excitement. Pat McAfee's the excitement. And that's what wrestling has missed for a long time is somebody sitting behind that table that makes me feel like it's okay to be fucking excited about what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah. Okay, so then we got the Bunny versus Anna Jay. I don't know if it's just the presentation of WWE women's matches or, like I said, if there's a glaring difference in talent, but I'm not going to argue this with people again this week. The WWE, from the eye test, the women's division looks far superior to matches like this, right?
Even a Carmella fight.
Yeah,
Versus what we
and
saw.
you can tell me, I've had people argue me, well, it's not a fair comparison because AEW has a lot of younger women and they're building for the future. That's fine. If you want to argue that, I'd probably take your side on that. But the argument I'm making is eye test right now, this point in time, it's not close.
I agree.
It's not close. There's just, especially when you get out of like the top 4 in AEW, you get into they don't move right. They miss a lot of spots. They just look green.
Yes.
It's not crisp. I felt, and this, probably not popular. We went to RCW this weekend, and we saw Christy James, Kiera Hogan, and I don't remember who the other girl was, the Brick House.
I don't remember her name either, but.
Hey, man, AEW, get on the phone with these girls.
Oh, yeah. It was freaking awesome.
They look like they put on a fucking show. They put on a show. But at this point, it is what it is, right? Eye test right now.
Yeah.
It's not close.
Yeah.
Then we got the Britt Baker Ruby Soho promo. I thought this promo did both women extremely well going into their match next week. They both took some kind of underhanded shots at each other. I don't know if there's real bad blood there or is this just really good acting.
I think Ruby said that they've known each other for a while. But
I mean, I don't know how
I don't
underhanded.
think they would not like each
alluding
other.
to the fact that like you're sleeping with the guy in the back, it's pretty common knowledge. It's not like
Yeah.
Britt Baker's a hoe. I mean, she's dating Adam Cole. I guess it just
I
plays.
think they were just good shit talkers,
just-
but I don't think that they really hate
It
each
plays
other.
well to a crowd, and then Britt Baker came back at her and said, "Look, you didn't leave WWE. You were kicked out the fucking door. You were fired."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we think that that Ruby Soho is ready to pilot the ship here in the AEW women's division? I mean, are we under the
I think
belief
that they're going to give her that
you
chance.
think she's
In
going
my-
over and getting the belt, or is DMD going to retain and continue her heel reign?
No, she's going to get it, and then something's going to happen, and Britt Baker will get it back.
So you don't think they're going to make Ruby so I want to keep calling her Ruby Rojo.
So Ruby is going to win. She's going to take the belt, okay?
Yeah.
And then at some point, Britt Baker's going to get it back. It'll be like a redemption story.
don't
That's
think
what
so.
I predict.
I don't think so. I think they're going to make Ruby climb the mountain. I think that they're going to let Britt beat her a couple times and keep dangling in her face, and then there'll be a big redemption at the end where probably at the next pay-per-view where Ruby Soho goes over and the crowd goes fucking nuts, because I still don't fully understand why we're 100% behind Ruby Soho, but she's been above average to me on the microphone. Hasn't shown me anything in the ring yet that I haven't seen before, but maybe
Yeah.
that's it. Maybe she's just solid in everything she does. And that's fine, right? All right, last but not least here. Last match I got to talk about. Okay, El Fuego versus Miro. Okay, every time Miro comes onto the TV, I feel like he's part of his own roster and television show. Like, I feel like what Miro is doing has nothing to do
True.
with anything else that's going on in AEW, right?
Yeah.
Also, I took a lot of flack because last week I went on record as saying records don't look like they matter anymore in AEW because Bryan Danielson walked in, got a title, or not title shot, walked in and got a match with Kenny Omega, which everybody then proceeded to tell me it's not a title match, so it doesn't matter. Kenny
Yeah.
Omega invited him into the match. I still call bullshit, right? Because if it's trying to be built in an element of realism, which is what you're doing with records, right? A guy doesn't just come into the UFC and get a title shot.
Yeah.
Or I keep slipping. Get a shot at the guy, at the main guy, at the number one, the big dog. You typically, even guys like Michael Chandler, who came in, you got to fight one or two before you get to fight for the title, right?
Yes.
Then you get to go in and fight the big dog. Now, I get it. This is pro wrestling. And what I'm trying to argue is we can pretend like records matter, but obviously they don't. And I back that up with the fact that El Fuego went straight fast and the fucking furious, okay? Put a pink slip down on this car that apparently he was able to buy with his new AEW contract. And here's the problem, El Fuego. It's common fucking knowledge, man. You don't invest in things that depreciate.
Yeah.
You went and bought a brand new fucking car right off, and then you fucking think you're gonna use that as a challenging chip for the TNT title? You guys can't tell me that records matter. If we can fucking bribe people with cars now, like we can use cars as a bribery chip.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like then guys like MJF, he probably could give his scarf up and get a title match if he wanted, because I'm sure that scarf's worth
Maybe
about
a
as
couple
much as
title
that
matches.
fucking car, right?
Yeah. Well, and he didn't even take the car afterwards, which was like, whatever.
But then after all of that shit, so we feed El Fuego to Miro, which I don't know. What are we doing with Miro? Are we just trying to build the unbeatable God's chosen child by feeding him a bunch of small guys? He goes and beats Eddie Kingston. Then now we're giving him El Fuego again, which is apparently leading into a program with Sammy Guerra or Gueva, whatever the fuck it is. My problem though, he fucking didn't even keep the keys to the car after all that bullshit.
I agree.
Like, so we go out of our way, AEW, to sell this as a match where this dude is putting his car on the line. And after all that, Miro didn't take the fucking keys with him. Like, I need some kind of confirmation right now that Miro has that car parked in his driveway today.
Yeah.
I need confirmation for that.
there were no consequences for losing. So, I mean,
It does, though. It just feels like every time that Miro is on TV, like I'm watching in a completely different program.
yeah. I
It
can
just
see
doesn't
that.
feel
And
like it's
I
part of the same
love
show.
Miro.
You were
I wanted
gonna
to call him
say Rusev.
Rusev. He'll always be Rusev.
I like him too. I got no problem. I mean, good big brute in the ring, but I don't. I don't know did that need a car? I guess that's the only way you justify El Fuego getting a shot and then Sammy coming in and saving his buddy.
Yeah. Good setup.
But this has been another episode of the Nerdy D Wrestling Podcast. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe to the channel on YouTube, TikTok, or your favorite podcast network. Each and every Monday and Thursday, I give my hot takes on the world of wrestling. And now, starting this week officially, we can finally announce the Anti-Establishment Wednesday podcast. They're here.
Yes, sir.
They're here. They will be here Wednesday. The new crew, the rest of the boys. We got Tex McGomez will be here.
Uh-huh.
We got El Grande Chingon, the big shit. And our buddy from the north, the White Walker, will be here. All here. And oh boy, if y'all thought I was bad, it's only going to get worse when these guys show up, right? But as always, I am Nerdy D. That is Level Up Lauren. Join us Wednesday for the extremely petty, infamous showcase celebration paid for by the Anti-Establishment.
Yes, sir.
We're out.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the mic, he is the Pro Wrestling Savant, the host of the hottest wrestling podcast on the internet.